Hey folks, Twisted Christian here. Today I want to give you guys an update, kind of what's going on in the world and some of my thoughts on the global currency reset, Dinar revaluation. And one of the things that I'm looking for is when things seem at their worst. That is the trigger of the Dinar. And that comes through the Kim Clement prophecies concerning the Iraqi dinar. Now, folks, it just seems like that our world is in complete chaos right now. Here in the United States, the political divide is stronger than ever, and there are so many different issues. Some of them I'm not going to touch on, but we have all these problems with our economy. We have worker shortages. We have the largest stock market corruption scandal, in my opinion, in the history of the stock market. But yet, the media and even a lot of traders, they're not seeing it. They're not seeing all the money that's been taken by the hedge funds for years and years and years. And most traders are basically standing by. And that's why there's such a big fight with GME and AMC stock and all the corruption with the Citadel scandal. And it's a lot worse than that. And a lot of people that do trade in the stock market don't get that the hedge funds really can control the price of any stock that they want. We have all these issues within the education system, and that has torn our education system apart. It's so politicized right now that who knows that whenever these situations will ever be resolved. And these divides, folks, are done on purpose. The whole thing with the whistleblower with Facebook, folks, that was a big setup. That was cover news. All just because Facebook is going to start advertising to, 8 to 12-year-olds with their social media network. Well, folks, you can just look on any television channel and you look at kids shows today and kids commercials. What they're advertising to those children is a lot worse, in my opinion, to what Facebook had been doing. And everything that's going on in the school system, folks, and because of our kids see the fighting with their parents and the school boards and how it's all politicized, so you wonder why a lot of times the kids are acting up in school, because they see us, the parents, the adults, the government, fighting. Then, not only that, now you also have the Federal Reserve scandal, right, where the people that are making those policies concerning the world economy, the banking system, and they are trading off of that. So they benefited from it. And there are some Fed board members that are stepping down. And it just seems like when all this news was coming out about the stock market and all this news was coming out about the Federal Reserve going on for about a week, and then all of a sudden we have the Facebook whistleblower in the midst of our country getting ready to default on our debt. We had all this news concerning the Facebook issue. Yet we have rising energy costs. We have the whole issue with Afghanistan, and now you have China. And I'm going to get into China a little bit because of their economy. And they are imploding, and the government is doing it to itself. They're cracking down in every sector in the stock market, every sector in business, whatever the case. And that's why you're seeing what you're seeing. Then you also have China threatening Taiwan. You have that whole issue that could easily break out. You still have the issues with Israel and Iran. We don't know how Afghanistan is going to really impact that whole area, but things are escalating. In our own country, we have all these different shortages that are going on. And this is just one example that what is happening in other countries could happen here. And it's already happening here because we already have rising energy costs. I mean, one day our gas is $3 a gallon, the next day it's $3.30, and then it's back down to $3.05, and then it's back up to $3.25. It's just flip-flopping all over the place. But here, as the UK battles for food, fuel, and labor crises, Boris Johnson promises changes. All right, so there you go. If it can happen to them, it's happening in other countries, folks. It's happening in Japan. It's happening in China. And, because we don't manufacture a lot of our own food products, a lot of stuff comes from China. And I shared in previous videos how they had a lot of issues because of the climate and the weather, and they lost a lot of their crops. We have our own labor issues here with the United States, especially dealing with the vaccine mandate. People are quitting their job. I see here on the Drudge Report, Seattle braces for mass firing of police as hundreds yet to show proof of vax. That's all I'm going to say about that, folks. And this is happening all around our country, and crime is already up. And that's why I say to make sure that you are prepared for all these events that are going to happen when things seem at their worst. You have to make sure that you're able to protect your family. You have to make sure that you have the food and the water and the shelter and protection. I know there are a lot of people that bring Dinar daily updates, but I've kind of shifted my focus off of that because you're not seeing the whole big picture with the global currency reset. It's not just dealing with the dinar. It's going to deal with a whole lot of other currencies. Plus, it's dealing with cryptocurrency. It's dealing with investments and taking advantage when this time does come. And right now, I'm trying to put myself in a position and just sharing that information and sharing what I'm doing in order to prepare for all those things. Because, folks, we are coming into a climax, right? Things are getting worse, but we're not there yet. Now, if you expect the dinar to revalue before the end of 2021, there's going to be a lot of things that happen very quickly and very fast. That includes when things seem at their worst. And that's a very short period of time from where we are at right now. So one of the things that I do want to discuss, that if China's economy does fall, it's going to affect the rest of the world. Evergrande creditors fear imminent default as concerns shake sector. Right? They're talking about missing these payments. But one of the things that has been discovered is there's a lot of companies, either they're bigger or smaller than Evergrande as far as the company, but they're saying a lot of those companies are in trouble too. So we could actually see a major domino effect in China. And this article here says Evergrande woes spread to China's 12 trillion local market. Chief executive of Hong Kong, which provides banking, broker-dealer, and asset management services with a focus on distressed and high-yield debt, discusses the state of the Chinese bond markets, the debt woes of China Evergrande Group and Fantasia Holdings Group Company, and the implications for other developers in the country. You guys need to really take a look at that and how all this, if China falls in their economy, it's going to affect the rest of the world. And partly it's going to affect us because we have a lot of business dealings with China, manufacturing, and I know that they've been moving out of China, but folks, we don't even manufacture a lot of our own products. And that's what you get when you get globalism, and that's where all of our jobs that have disappeared over the last 50 years, because remember, everything at first used to be made in Japan, and then things were being made in Mexico, and now things are being made in China. So there's been different shifts over time. When it comes to China, you not only have this issue, but you also have the issue with Taiwan. And if you lived in Taiwan right now, you would be living in fear every single day that the bombs would start dropping and an invasion would begin. For them right now, it seems like it's their worst. And they're on an island, they're isolated, everything is probably shipped in. They probably do get a lot of things imported. So things could get very bad very quickly there in Taiwan. And where I work right now, we know what things are short. We know they tell us in advance, hey, we're not going to get this product in a couple weeks. They're out, right? Whatever you get today, that's going to be the last order you're going to be able to get for at least a couple weeks. And the shortages are in every industry, right? And it may seem like when you go to the grocery store, maybe your particular grocery store is full. But then if you look closer, especially what they try to do where I work at, is they try to make it look full by having the same product, put up in place. But just going into Walmart and going into other stores like Walgreens, I'm just seeing empty shelves. So I just want you guys to be prepared because when it comes down to this, folks, I believe that we're at a point right now that with all the prophetic stocks and being prepared for the global currency reset, putting yourself in the position to protect your home, your family, to make sure that they're taken care of in every area during this time period. We are so close, and it's not to say that it's going to happen this year. When I look at what happened with the debt ceiling, and this kind of brought this to mind, what I'm telling you now, this whole issue with the debt ceiling, they're pushing it back to December, which means that okay, the stock markets, once they get this passed and it gets signed and they go through December, the stock market's going to go up. But if we have to have this discussion again in the debt ceiling and it's the end of November, you definitely want to make sure that you are protecting your investments. And now with certain stocks, I don't put stop losses on at all because I'm holding that stock for the very long term. What I was thinking concerning this debt ceiling, that we need to make sure that if, especially those who follow Kim Clement, the 8 Wells, and the stocks that we do know about, I'm trying to make sure that I put myself in a position to reach my goal in Dinars, XRP, BB, XF. I'm trying to put myself into a position right now that I have met my goals concerning these prophetic stocks, the 8 Wells, because we're getting close. We're getting closer to that time period, and I want to make sure that I am ready for the global currency reset. It's not just about the currency reset. There's a massive reset that's going on. You're going to see an energy reset. That's what we talk about, the big E, in the five different energy sources that Kim Clement talked about that are coming. So there's going to be a massive change, and so we want to be ready for that. And if people wonder, like, well, you're not really making any money off these prophetic stocks. You're not making money off Dinar. You're not making, if you're swing trading, if you are swing trading some of the prophetic stocks, and there are other stocks, you can swing trade any stock, and you can still make money off of that stock. A lot of these prophetic stocks or prophecies concerning the global currency reset, dealing with the dinar, there's a reason why he wants us invested in specific things or invested in certain companies, because one of the companies that Kim Clement talks about is going to bring a massive change to the energy industry. It's not tradable yet, but I expect it to be by next week. And so God wants us to invest in some of these because they're going to bring change. The dinar is going to bring change. Ford is going to bring change. XRP is going to bring change. So folks, just keep in mind that this whole thing with the debt ceiling is going to come back in December. And 2022 could be a rough year. And like I said, folks, if people are expecting the dinar to revalue by the end of 2021, then these next couple months are going to be super rough because we're already a little bit over a week in October. And I believe that a lot of these prophecies, not necessarily dealing with finances, but Kim Clement and a few others, I think a lot of things are going to come when things do start happening. The ball is going to be rolling very fast. You put yourself in the position that you've reached all of your goals, so you can sit back and wait and then watch. It's one reason why I don't pay attention to a lot of Iraq micro news, and trying to pay attention to all the stocks and a handful of cryptocurrencies and trying to keep up with those every day, folks. It is a task, and some of you know that. Trying to keep up with the news and the research on all of your investments. And so that's why I tend not to focus hardly anymore on the micro news of Iraq and other things that are going on in this country. That's why I don't really get involved in everything, the whole politics and all the different. I see the news, I can see the headlines, but I can't focus on that. I can't focus on what the Republicans are doing. If the Republicans had not gotten involved with raising the debt limit or debt ceiling or whatever, they would have not gotten involved. You know where the stock market would have been by now, and what what it would be next week and the week after. Yeah, it's not officially done right now, but pretty much they're saying it's going to be a done deal. So things could happen very quickly. So December, be aware of that so you can make sure that you have protected your investments. All right, folks. So that's all that I have for today. I just wanted to give you guys an update. If you guys like these videos, you want to support, the support links are down below in the description. PayPal, Patreon, and a few others. And I will be giving updates this week. First on the Patreon, dealing with the 8 wells and some of the other prophetic stocks. So, anyways, folks, I thank you for listening. God bless. Stay safe. TC out.